What is a perfect square? Perfect squares are numbers like 0, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. This is because there's some whole number that you can square to get those numbers. 5 is not a perfect square because there's no number times itself that equals 5. At least not a rational one. If you took the square root of 5, it'd be a crazy decimal that goes on forever without repeating. So 5 is not a perfect square. It turns out x squared plus 10x plus 25 is a perfect square. Even though it's a trinomial, there is something times itself that equals it. X squared plus 10x plus 25 factors into x plus 5 times x plus 5, which can be written x plus 5 squared. These are also perfect squared trinomials. X squared plus 12x plus 36 can factor into x plus 6 squared. X squared plus 14x plus 49 can factor into x plus 7 squared. X squared plus 16x plus 64 can factor into x plus 8 squared. If you're not sure, you can always multiply out to check. X times x is x squared, x times 5 is 5x, 5 times x is 5x, 5 times 5 is 25. The two 5x's add together to make 10x, or as we remember, the numbers add to the middle and multiply to the end. You might notice there's a relationship between the middle and the end. Some number doubled makes 16, and that same number squared makes 64. So 7 doubled is 14, and 7 squared is 49. 6 doubled is 12, 6 squared is 36. By understanding this pattern, we can take something like x squared plus 8x and actually add something to it to make it a perfect square. But what should be added? Well, if we look at the other ones, we could take this number and cut it in half, and we would get 7, and we could square it and get 49. Or if we took 12 and cut it in half, we get 6, and square 6, we get 36. So for this one, it would make sense to cut it in half and get 4, and square it to get 16. So by adding 16 to 8x squared plus 8x, we turned it into a perfect square trinomial. Now we can factor it into x plus 4 squared. Our goal is to convert perfect square trinomials into the square of a binomial. So this form is the square of a binomial.